Hey everybody, welcome to another live stream with Wail with Shannah Rae. We are doing something new today. For the next few hours, we are doing some live stream online lessons with some members of the Wail community. I wanted to give you guys a chance to see how we work in lessons and see the tools at work with some singers that have been working with them for a little while. So I had several singers that volunteered to do this, and I'm really grateful. And my first one up today, I'm going to bring her into the room. This is Lauren.
Hello, everybody.
Lauren.
Hi, Shannah.
Hello. So quickly before we get right into the work, because we're doing some, we're doing some Olivia Rodrigo today, so I'm very excited about that. Tell me a little bit about, just very quickly, like tell everybody who's watching a little bit about you, and then kind of your area of vocal study. So when we work together, we're working towards.
Yeah. So I'm currently a working actor in New York City, but in college I was mostly classically trained, and so Shannah really helped me like nail down like an awesome rock sound and pop sound. So now I can go into these auditions for contemporary musical theater and actually feel good about what I'm singing. So,
Yay!
yeah.
Well, thank you for the shout out. I really appreciate it. Well, we're gonna get right to it today with the Olivia Rodrigo. So, and I'm just gonna model for everybody. This is kind of how we work in Wail. So Lauren, before you sing it, tell me a little bit about what's going well with it and what is maybe kind of presenting some problems right now, so that on my first listen through, I can help you out.
So one of my main issues whenever I sing pop stuff, especially like 21st century pop, it's really strainy, and I think I'm just taking in too much air. But what I love about this song is the flips that I get to do, which yes, we'll see soon.
Okay. Well, I will say it is you're not alone in that, and I think that's even like a lot of actually particularly a lot of Olivia's stuff it can be the kind of thing that we maybe over inhale on, but we'll play around and see. So I want you to sing it for me once through, and then I will take some mental notes and we'll work through some things and see what we can do within our few minutes together.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right, give it a go. Now I'm gonna move myself so they can watch you while you're doing this.
Oh, okay. Cool. Great. Cool. Thanks. Higher. Okay. I told my friends you were the one after I known you like a month, and you kissed some girl from high school. You found a new version of me. I damn near started World War III. Jesus, what was I even doing? 'Cause now it don't mean a thing. God love's just so embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God, love's embarrassing as hell.
Okay, tell me how that felt.
Good. It was strainy, where I was telling you that it might be like the especially on that last kind of scoop, and yeah, and I know I have some issues with my low notes too, so that's why I kind of modified and then you kiss some girl from high school instead of high. She goes all the way down there. So,
well, let's first see if we can reduce some of the strain a little bit. Part of it is that this thing is coming at you so fast. And so a lot of times when we're singing stuff that's like barreling at us like a train, we tend to like sing, gasp, gasp. And that's common. That is a very common thing that happens among singers. So what I want you to do, and I think I've used this tool before, but if we haven't, this may be a new tool for you. I actually want you to go kind of to the later part. You don't have to give me the whole thing, and you can do this part a cappella, and we'll put the track back on at the end. But what I want you to do is go to the kind of the beltier section, or the faster moving beltier section, that where you start to feel the strain. And I want you to sing it this time, and I want you to take every single inhale through your teeth. Like I just pinched you and you went, that hurt. So for those of you watching the stream, the reason I'm having Lauren do this is that sometimes when we have these sorts of belts that are coming at us like this, and it's this big belt and it's fast, and our tendency sometimes is to take in more air than we need, which can create that pressure and that strain. Taking it through the teeth creates a natural barrier, so you can't inhale as much. Now, after a while, when we get used to that muscle-wise, we will take away that barrier. But for right now, this will be an actual barrier that will stop that inhale from being as deep as it was. So I want you to sing. You can pick any kind of part where it's moving into where you were feeling that strain. And I just want you to do every inhale through your teeth.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause it don't mean a thing, God loves, just so embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell.
Okay, how did that feel?
Yeah.
Easier?
Yeah, it took conscious effort to do that.
Yeah, it does. Well, and it is totally natural to want to go. I mean, we all do. I still do. I mean, it's something that we really have to think about because it feels very counterintuitive. It's like I'm making this big sound, so I should take this big breath, right? But actually, that big breath is going to conspire against that big sound. So do it a couple more times for me. So this is something else, guys. I'm going to have Lauren do this 2 more times because one of the things that I have found inside Wail is third time is usually a charm, meaning when you're working any sort of technique, you need to give the voice about 3 times through to really grab on to what you're asking it to do. And usually by about the 3rd time, your muscle memory kicks in and goes, oh, I see, this is what we're doing. And you can move on to the next thing. Not always, but I would say about 90% of the time. So let's do it one more time. And we're not gonna, this time I'm not gonna stop you. I just want you to loop it. So you're gonna do 1 time through this, and then you're gonna go back and do it with the 3rd time, okay?
Getting all the air. Cause now it don't mean a thing, God loves, just so embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell.
Okay, do it 1 more time. Loop that. Take that information and loop it again.
Cause now it don't mean a thing, my God loves, so embarrassing. My God. Oh no, we lost the words.
Try it again.
Okay. Cause now it don't mean a thing, God loves, just so embarrassing. My God, just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell.
Okay, so now let's do that last bout. So first of all, how does that feel now that we've kind of reduced some pressure?
Yeah, it helped me target really which ones I need to maybe modify a little, crucify for some reason was very
on that may be because you've got 3 voiceless consonants in a row. So you can swap one of those. So a ka can become a ga, a s can become a z, or a f can become a v. So what I mean by that for everybody watching is sometimes a voiceless consonant can get in the way of airflow. And so singing like gruzivai rather than crucify. So actually just give me that phrase and do gruzivai and see how that feels.
Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay, now do it. Let's keep, I think the S to the Z is the most useful. So now blend, do mostly Z with just enough S that we think we're hearing S as your audience. And do it on crucify and do it on self as well.
Got it. Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay, so it may be easier that we do the G and then the Z on self. So give me crucify myself, gru and zelf. Try those.
Crucify myself. Got it.
Huh?
Just watch as I crucify myself.
Well, that sounds so much more stable.
Yeah.
Does that feel better?
Definitely.
Yeah, now back up and give me that whole phrase.
Or
wherever you remember it from.
Cause now it don't mean a thing, my God, love's just so embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so now I want to help you with the self part. So where self is tricky because it starts from that cool collie place that we like, right? Mm-hmm. But then it has to go up. So my general rule is that up has to go out for it to feel like it's still belty, but also feel like it's safe and not straining. So I'm going to demonstrate here. I'm going to exaggerate. This is not what you were doing, but I'm going to exaggerate so you can feel the difference or hear the difference. Myself! And then I'm in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go out I'm going to think more like out, almost like the Joker in Batman. Myself! Okay. So try going more into an ah, like a blended ah-eh. Myself! And then find your sweet spot on where your ah and eh. Everybody has a different sweet spot.
Just watch as I crucify myself.
Yeah. And then you can choose a fall off at the end. So what I mean by that is when we are doing this sort of like big belting, we have to create some sort of pressure release valve. So what you can either exhale the air at the end, a la kind of what you've heard me talk about before, like Whitney Houston, there's a boy. So she tosses off the rest of that air, or you can dive off. Self. Or you can do sort of a blend of both, which is what I just did. So I want you to go through, add the crucify with the what, say, and then I want you to exhale off with a dive. There's your roadmap. There's a lot of things to think at once, but that's your roadmap of ease.
Okay. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string. Yeah.
How do I feel?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And by the way, I want to put a little thing here. Catherine, who's another whaler, is watching right now. And she's like, yes, repeating is the best way for her too. Yeah, it's like it is just when you're working a technique, it's just like that repetition. It's like the third time is always a charm. And for those of you watching, what we just did with Lauren is it's literally, I call it sometimes vocal choreography, because it really is mapping like, what do I need to do at certain guideposts in the song to get to where I want to be? Because a lot of times, most of the phrase is comfortable. There's just a few spots. And it's like if you set those down as sort of a marker here and a marker here and a marker here, you get the phrase. So Lauren's 3 markers in that phrase were the consonant swapped on the gru and zelv. And then the second marker was going from an eh to an ah. And then the third marker was offloading the excess air and the dive off at the end. And so like when she's working that phrase, she only has to think 3 things. And the great thing about muscle memory is if you do that 2 or 3 times, it will grab those and it will become part of it, and you don't have to think about it as much. Like right now, it's probably like on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being like I have to think about it a lot. It's probably a 9 or 10 right now. As you work, so I want to kind of put this in practice. So give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like I really have to think about all of those pieces right now. Where would you say your number is?
I'm gonna say like a 8.75 because I'm also thinking
okay. So we're
song.
All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to say those markers to me again, and then we're going to do our 3 times again with those markers. And I want to see if by the 3rd time, if that number of of how much I have to think about it comes down and the muscle memory starts taking over. Even if the number moves a little bit, it may not move at all, and that's okay too. We're just experimenting. Okay, so talking through those markers again, you've got your confidence walks.
Grucify myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know self, it goes
Uh-huh.
and then it's the Whitney Houston drop off.
Yep. All right.
Often goes right into
there you go. So I want you to do that 3 times, and then you're just gonna loop it. I'm not even gonna stop you. You're gonna loop it 3 times. At the end of those 3 times, I'm gonna come back and say, now what was the thinking number by the 3rd time through?
Okay. The beginning of the chorus then?
There's just that line that we've been doing.
Just watch as I crucify myself. Just watch as I crucify myself. Just watch as I crucify myself.
Where would you say the thinking number was by the end?
By the end, it was like at like a 6 because I was
yeah. So that's the thing. So for those of you watching, like we had those 3 guideposts 3 times through. She was at an 8.75, and then 3 times through we came down to about a 6. So the muscle memory started taking over. And if it even with 3 times, if it moved that quickly down, this is why I say, like, if you'll focus, like any singer, 10 or 15 minutes a day of really detailed focus like this, you can train the muscle memory pretty quickly to do what you want it to do. Okay, I'm going to give you one more thing for ease there. Do you have any water nearby?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I want you to do a quick gargle for me and then sing that phrase.
I'm going to do that off camera.
That's fine. So the gargle is going to open, it's going to loosen and open up the throat a little bit. There's more science to it than that, but for those of you who are watching, I'm just going to say this helps loosen things up. Okay. All right, so now put those 3 guideposts in after your gargle and do it again.
Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna add. I know we're doing like the nitty gritty of this phrase, but this feels like it's like the other thing is, like, guys, on what I'm giving Lauren on this phrase, I promise you we're gonna keep going, and a lot of what we're doing here will naturally apply itself to the later phrases, because that's also how muscle memory works. So as you're ascending on this self, so we're gonna do part 2 of doing self. As you go up on that self, I want you to do one of 2 things. I either want you to plie with it, so you're engaging the core, so self, and you're digging into the ground, or you can do sort of like the Pink Lady Gaga sort of throwback. I think Alicia Keys kind of does it sometimes too. Self, whichever one. So the lean back to either engage the core, or the bend down and plie to engage the core. But I want you to use one of those things and engage the core.
Okay. Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay, how'd that feel?
Yeah.
It's
easier to like sit down into.
Yeah, and so the thing is, you just make it look rock and roll, right? I mean, like, singers do this all the time. They don't even realize sometimes that's what they're doing. Like rock singers, when they lean or move back, they just by nature, they do it. So let's play with like where a sweet spot anchoring is for you. This time I just want you to do it. And on the self, I want you to slowly lunge into your right leg.
Okay. Just watch as I crucify myself.
Okay, the right side is cool. Let's try left side, but right side really yielded some results.
Just watch as I crucify myself.
I think you're a righty.
Right side, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that right side again.
Just watch as I crucify myself.
Yeah, that right side is the sweet spot. So that's a good thing to know. So now it's like you just lean into that right side, you make it look rock and roll, and it's supported. Okay, good. So is there another spot you want to scoot to? Or actually, why don't you I'll tell you what, here's what I want to do. I want you to kind of back up to where we started and take it through the end, and then see what we have done thus far, what naturally muscle memory finds its way in to the remainder and then we'll come back if there are other spots that still feel a little strange. You know what I'm saying? So I want to sing it to the end to see what sticks from the work that we've just done in this little section, and then we'll go to some remaining sections.
Got it.
Okay.
Just connecting to the Bluetooth. Okay. I told my friends you were the one after I'd known you like a month, and then you kissed some girl from high school. You found a new version of me. I damn near started World War III. Jesus, what was I even doing? 'Cause now it don't mean a thing. God loves just so embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell.
Okay, Lauren, how'd that feel?
That felt good.
Yeah. Okay, so the homework that I would say to keep the homework to keep working is the taking it through the teeth, because that takes a little while for the body to fight the counterintuitive, and to not want to take the giant inhale. That takes time. That takes more than like a 15-minute, quick lesson. Now, I'm going to leave you with one bonus feature. We don't have time to run it today, but I'm going to give you a bonus tool because you'd asked about the low notes. Well, actually, we can't run the whole song again, but we can do this one little spot. So I want you to give me your best Broadway, da-da-da-da-da, like your vaudeville. Give me your vaudeville, da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da.
You can make it more even So it's what it wants to be, da-da-da-da-da, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, give me the beginning of that phrase and sing me the first phrase in the da-da-da-da-da. So sing me the first phrase would be just the words.
Oh, and then you kiss some girl from high school.
Here's what I want is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Give me that, okay? Even if it helps, do the jazz hands.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You know where that one wants to go da-da. Think wide rather than tall. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just let the elevator drop without assisting it.
Da-da-da.
Okay? Keep your teeth together. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
There's that low note. Now sing me the words through the teeth. No, the high school. Sing me that through the teeth.
Yeah. And then you kiss some girl from high school.
There you go. I know it. And again, it's another thing that feels sort of counterintuitive. We feel like, oh, it's a low note, I'm going to go low. But actually, for the low notes, especially in this conversational sort of speechy belt, we want to go wide with it instead.
Yeah. So. I mean, from like an acting standpoint, you can clench your jaw on that.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, and it's another one of those things, it's sort of like the taking it through the teeth thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's sort of like you put that, it's like training wheels on a bike. You put them there until you don't need them anymore. So you just do that and do that and do that until the jaw realizes oh, I don't have to open. So it doesn't have to be clenched. It just be a light hold, almost like it's just like the teeth meet. Or you can even do a bite to the pinky, and then once the jaw memorizes oh, I don't have to do all this dropping, then you can take that away and it'll be there for you. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and thank you, Lauren, for this fun. I always love coaching some Olivia Rodrigo, and great job and great progress in this. And guys, stay tuned. I think 3 more people coming in. So thank you, Lauren.
Thanks so much, Shannah.
Bye.